Hey there, welcome to the channel or welcome back. My name is Angela. This will be another garden vlog. I'm going to share with you guys what I'm working on throughout the week. So the video is going to cover probably at least 2 or 3 days. And today is Wednesday, April 9th. I think it's the 9th. I'm getting a little bit confused on my dates here, but yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the 9th. And what I'm holding here are some trees that came today from the Arbor Day Foundation. I'm going to get those opened up and I'll share with you what I got. And I'll also kind of show you what I've been working on the last few days since my last vlog. If you're ready, let's do it. All right, hope you guys can see this pretty well. I've got the camera kind of propped up. I'm just cutting a box open right now. And I ordered these last fall, so frankly, I really can't remember what I even ordered. We're going to find out. And if you guys have never ordered from the Arbor Day Foundation before, you might be interested in seeing this. I've ordered from them a few times, and for the most part, it's been pretty good. There's been some losses, some that were just too small and didn't really make it. So what I got here, I got a Kentucky coffee tree, an American sweet gum, a sourwood tree, a red dogwood, and then I got 6 green giant arborvitaes. The reason I got 6 of those is because it was they were priced really well. So I'm sure they're going to be very, very tiny, but maybe they'll grow fast. So this is what we're looking at here. They do give you, there's a guarantee. You can contact them if the trees didn't arrive in good condition. And they give you a little diagram on how to plant trees in case you need that. But here's what they all look like. And they're all bare root. And I'm not going to get these all in the ground today. But what I am going to do, just to kind of give them a good situation, a good setup until I do get them in the ground, is to just heel them into some dirt. I'm just cutting them apart right now. They've got all the trees kind of in a plastic wrap and holding. There's like a moist cloth or one of those disposable foam. I know, not foam, but it almost looks like flannel, but it's some kind of just a cloth that's wet to keep them moist, keep them from drying out during the shipping process. It's probably more like a paper towel. Here I am trying to make it all fancy and everything, but it actually is pretty thick. I mean, it's a disposable cloth for sure, like a paper towel, but it's very, very thick, like much thicker than paper towel. So they've just got all the roots wrapped together in this. And I'm going to pull them apart, and there's also some kind of like gelatin type substance in there. I don't know if that's like some protective material or if that's something that's nutritious. Maybe if I read the literature it would tell me that. I'm notorious for not reading instructions, to my own detriment for sure. Okay, so they had these also bound up together again inside of the plastic. And now I can kind of take them, not exactly. We've got another little tie up here. And they also had these trees not only tied to each other, but they've got this wooden little stake twist tied to them. I guess just to keep them, give them support during shipping, and so that they don't, get bent or something like that. So I've got this, and now I'm going to take you guys over. I'll show you where I'm going to put these until I get to planting. So I'm going to grab you off of here, and we will head over. So my camera ended up cutting out, and I lost a lot of what I thought was recording time. And I'm going to take you guys over to show you where I got all those trees healed in, kind of show you what I did there. Okay, so I just got them kind of dug into my grow bags here that already had plenty of soil. I usually grow potatoes in this row of grow bags, but I'm not doing that this year. So I got all 6 of the arborvitae in here, and this is the sweet gum. So all I did really was just plant them into these grow bags. I call it healing in just because it's only meant to be temporary. They're going to stay in there until I get them planted in the ground, which hopefully will not be longer than 3 to 4 weeks. And this next one is the sourwood. These trees look really good. They're pretty tall and healthy looking, especially for Arbor Day trees. Not trying to bash the Arbor Day Foundation because they do a lot of good work, but I've had some fails with their trees, but I've also had some successes too. This is my red dogwood, and that is the Kentucky coffee tree. This one is probably the shortest one at maybe a couple feet, and I'm thinking that I didn't get it settled in enough there. I'm gonna probably mound up some more soil to get it up to about right there. But yeah, they'll be good in here. Just keep them watered and they can stay in there for a while. Oftentimes when I get bare root trees that are very small, I put them in pots and kind of let them live there for a while until I feel like they're big enough to be planted out. I can tend to them a little better that way, just monitor them. So today is Saturday, April 12th, and I haven't done too much outside since we last chatted. Like I mentioned, I worked pretty much all day yesterday, but today I did get some more of my tomato seedlings potted up, actually the last of them, and then also I got most of my pepper seedlings potted up. I'm going to show you how all of those are doing, and then we'll head outside. So this tray here are the new, these are mostly tomatoes. Maybe I can slide this. I'm afraid to slide it out too much. I've got mostly tomatoes, and then towards the end there, the back of the tray, there's a few peppers. And then this tray here on the second row is tomatoes and peppers. And down here at the bottom, these are the first ones that I potted up, and they're doing really good. They're really getting some nice growth to them. So I can't wait until it's time to put them out. It won't be till at least May 10th, somewhere around there. And then as far as what I have left to be potted up, there's just a few peppers, and these ones are taking their own sweet time. This one I don't know if I'll make it or not. That's a Carolina Reaper. It's tiny. And then there's a few towards the back there. So there's just a few left that need to be potted up. I'm pretty happy overall with how they're all doing. You know, those ones on the bottom shelf there are doing so well. So let's head outside. And I haven't gotten really anything new done here. We did do a little bit of property cleanup today. It definitely needs it. I'm kind of piling up all the branches and sticks that are laying around everywhere just to take them down to the fire pit area. We can go check on my onion seedlings though, the ones that I put in earlier in the week, and see how they're doing. Let's head over there. We had a pretty decent day today. Sun was out and no rain, so that's kind of nice. We're stocked up on rain for a little while. So these are all the ones that I got in the other day. They don't look like they're doing too well, and I'm thinking they're probably just kind of adapting, getting situated. I still do have a few to go in. I don't really have that many onion seedlings this year. And this tray here, I only have a few that actually, out of all these cells, and that I got these seeded right before I went out of town for an extended period to stay with my mom. And I think my hubs did the best that he could, but I don't know that very many of them are going to make it out of that tray. And I've got a rosemary that's come up since I was last looking at this. And this is celery. It's kind of lagging too. These poor seedlings, they just didn't get the TLC that the tomatoes and peppers did, like I mentioned, because I was gone most of the time. And I had some yarrow seedlings that I grew last year from seed, and they were in one of my grow bags, and I was afraid, they came back this year, of course, and I was afraid that they would just get lost in the shuffle, so I took them out of the grow bag and put them at the end of this bed. And I might keep them there. Maybe I'll move them somewhere else to like a permanent location. We'll see how that goes. I still need to put my green stalk back together. I'll do that soon. And over here in my new bed that I'm working on, this is coming together so nicely, you guys. I just don't think it's showing up that well on the camera as it is in person, but I'm feeling really hopeful about this bed. I think it's going to look so nice once everything gets planted, gets established. I'll be working on that throughout this week and kind of taking a peek at some of the other things that I planted last year when I really started, really ramping up on these landscaping efforts. Everything seems to be coming back and doing really nicely. I'll take you over to a couple of the different spaces that I'm working on. So over here, my retaining wall bed, these are all, like almost everything is coming up that I planted last year. Some of it's still pretty small. I've got maybe 3 or 4 different types of sedums in here. There's one there. And this one I think is sedum neon, I believe. This one, coral carpet, I think. And this one here is coral reef. And check out my beautiful penstemon there. That's the first time I've ever grown penstemon, and it's coming back so nicely. The foliage on that's just beautiful. And over here I've got a few, I'm losing my words, coneflower. And this is sorrel. This here is some agastache. I forget which variety. I'll know once it flowers. And this tall shrub here is a Weigela red prince. I'm pretty sure I'm going to take that out. That's going to be a job because it's been in there a few years. But I just have different plants for that area. And then these grassy looking plants are wood oats. So they're coming up pretty nicely too. Everything's looking great. And I think that this will be the first year that this bed will really start looking filled out instead of just a bunch of tiny little plants randomly issued or whatever. And the other project that I did last year is to start on a screen to cover up this big giant transformer here that kind of just sits plunk in the middle of the property. I really wish they could have put that off to the side somewhere, but so what I've got growing here are a row of feather reed grasses that'll get at least 3 feet tall, and they're going to wrap around this side and then that left side there. And then in front of that, a row of, these are more yarrow here, called Sassy Summer Sangria. So that will be a row in front of those tall reed grasses. The reed grasses are feather reed grass Hello Spring. And that's pretty much all I have to show you. This one wasn't too exciting. I think the most exciting thing that happened in the garden this past week was getting those Arbor Day trees in. So those looked really good. I have a pretty good feeling about those trees, like they're off to a great start. And of course I'll keep you guys updated on how they do. Yeah, we should have took a look at those today. I totally skipped over that. I don't think there's going to be much change, but if any of them are going to start leafing out, it'll probably be pretty soon but that might be in next week's vlog. I thank you guys so much for hanging out with me here in my garden. Let me know how your garden's doing. What's your favorite thing that you're growing this year? Let me know in the comments. Till next week, take care.